Hey everybody, this is Lorenzo DC to bring you some knowledge on the triangle offense in NBA 2K16. This is going to be a pretty deep video. This is a pretty deep freelance offense in NBA 2K. So let's go ahead and get started and go over some basics. Now, you're going to want to maybe bookmark this one because I'm going to drop a lot of information down to you, and you're going to see the basic sets of how to run this offense and learn the basic strengths and weaknesses of the offense and how to use it effectively as part of your part of your game plan. The triangle offense is built around using movement, spacing, and angles to take advantage of gaps in the defense. So the ball is going to move, and the primary looks are going to be operating through the post player to get looks at the basket, layups, cuts to the basket by people in motion. But let's first look at spacing. So you're going to have one side of the court that I will call the heavy side. That's on the right side of your screen where you see three players, one down on the low block, one on the wing, and one high on the guard position up in the key. On what I'll call the light side, where you only have two players, offensive players, on the left side of your screen, you have a guard up high, or may come down if the ball goes down lower later in the set, and a guy that they call the wing. But he will operate either in that wing position there, closer to the perimeter, or closer to the block, the middle block as you see him now, or sometimes flashing up to the foul line on that side of the court. So get used to looking at this. This is what you want to see and always know how it's forming on the court. You're going to have a heavy side and a light side. Anytime the players move around on the court, anytime you're moving the ball, this is the base of operations. Players in this offense can occupy any of those positions, so just because a player is down low on a block doesn't mean that that's a power forward or a center. As players move around and rotate through the offense, they can go anywhere. That's one of the keys to this offense. The offense wants to take advantage of mismatches created by the movement of players anywhere onto the court. That means this is an offense built around passing, not so much pick and rolls or pick and roll action for a ball handler, but passing. Let's take a look at what this movement looks like when I don't have players in static positions. You see how as the ball moves around the court, players are moving and filling spots going anywhere, but they're still forming that same triangle. So let's talk about how to start and initiate the triangle offense, how to get it flowing once you cross half court. So you come into half court, and the thing to do is start off with a pass to the wing. Boom, there it is. Did you see it? That triggers the motion. You see a cut to the corner, and now you have a triangle forming on the heavy side of the court, and you have the positions on the light side of the court as you would expect. So let's talk now about the base set of this offense and the primary looks that you want to go through and your progressions. Once you make that swing pass to the wing, your first look is going to be to the post. That's what the objective of this offense is, to get the ball down low in the hands of that guy on the block. Boom, did you see it? Once that happens, you're going to see these cuts. Did you see those two cuts to the basket? No? Okay, well, let's take a look at another clip, this time with the heavy side of the court on the other side. We're going to get the ball into the block. You're going to see cuts to the basket and the read for the guy in the post to decide whether or not he wants to dump it off to one of those guys for a layup, post up and some back to the basket action, or kick it out to the guy coming off the screen on the other side of the court. Sometimes the defense is in the way. This is an offense that requires you to make reads of what's open. Don't force passes. Make passes to where you have a safe place to move, swing the ball around, and find another shot. Your second priority in your progressions once you initiate the offense by swinging the ball to the man on the heavy side wing is to look to reverse the ball back to the top of the key. Reversing the ball is valuable because it's always good to get the defense moving one way and then having to react by moving the other way. So in this clip, we reversed the ball to the top, we got it to the guy on the post, and we got a layup by the cut going around to the basket. Let's take a look at another example. We're going to get the ball into the wing, the offense sets up, and we reverse it back to the top. We're going to try again and reverse it and send it to the post, and the post player can post up but back to the basket. In this case, he's going to hand it off to MJ. MJ is going to back up and take that open jumper. Let's look at it again. Another clip. We're going to swing the ball back to the top of the key. As we don't see a lot of action over there, let's try again by going low. We want a layup, we want a three. No, let's go back to the basket and post up and get the hoop. Here you see it again. We have an option here and we have the open cutter. Let's take that layup. Money, baby, money. Depending on what's available, you may just want to take an open three at the top of the key once you swing it back. If it's there, why not? Let's move on now to your third option look. Once you get the ball into the heavy side wing in the triangle to move your offense, this is where your far side wing flashes to the foul line. Take a look here. You get a cut to the basket. That's called the blind pig. Let's take a look again. What you should also note is a pass I didn't make. I went to the blind pig on this one, but you have an option to go to that cutting perimeter player for the three-point shot. One more time. Again, I took the pass, I made the pass to the cutter to the basket, but I have that three-point shot open behind me. Here are a couple of more examples. Let's take a look at how this play develops as you bring it past half court. Get the ball into the wing, that starts the offense. Take a little time, let's say, it develops a little bit more slowly. We don't like our options. Here we go. We have that cut to the basket with the far side post player flashing to the foul line. There's a lot in the triangle offense where you're going to be move the ball to a spot and then be patient to see what develops and give your players an opportunity to cut and surprise the defense. That's one of the principles of the triangle offense. Let's keep moving and take a look at your fourth option once you get the ball into the wing, and this is getting the ball into the corner. Now there are a lot of places in the triangle offense where you're going to find this guy in the corner. Let's take a look at this one. We swing it down, here we go, and a lot of times we'll get exactly this screen coming in from the low block, and then you can work off that screen, play a little pick and roll, find the layup, or kick it out depending on how the defense is playing you. Let's take a look at another example. Here we go. We've got MJ in the corner. We're going to take this pick and roll. We have nowhere to go on that, but we can kick it out to BJ Armstrong in the far corner. Here's another example. This time the heavy side is back on the right side of the court. We'll get the ball into, this time, power forward Horace Grant. We don't really like it. It's too crowded. We'll kick it out to the top. We'll take that three. Even though we don't make it, it's still a decent shot. Okay, another example. This one is actually coming off of the swing to the far side. We get that pick and roll two-man action, and Scottie Pippen rolls to the basket for the hoop. Let's take one last look. Now, a lot of times in 2K, working from the corner can be a little bit tricky because the defense will pile on you and trap you, so you don't want to use this as your primary look, but it is a good option to use when you've got the defense playing you in some other ways, and sometimes you will get this open three. Now that I've shown you your primary four reads to look at when you get the ball into your offense starting at the heavy side wing, there is a wrinkle here in 2K16 that's a secondary branch coming off of this reverse. When you get the ball to the top of the key and you hold the ball, you will get the heavy side post player flashing to the foul line. You get him the ball, and then look, you see all those three little arrows going in different directions? Those are all passing options that are trigger off of actions that happen once you get the ball to that spot. So here we go. See those arrows again? You've got a cutter, you've got someone out here in the perimeter. That's the one who's open in this clip. So boom, let's take that shot. Look again. Reverse the ball back to the top of the key. Here we wait for a little bit. It can develop a little bit more slowly, but we're going to get, here we go. Now we have those arrows. We have motion around this post player, and MJ took not a really great shot, but that's on me. But still, sometimes that shot is open, as you will see here. You can also see once you get the ball to that position, you have a pick and roll option to develop if that shot isn't open. And here we take that pick and roll option in this clip. And now things bog down a little bit. The defense is playing well. As you always do in the triangle, you pull back and make some passes and find a place where the defense is not. Here we go again with one more look. We have that swing mid-range jumper open, and that's money. Here in 2K16, there's another secondary branch of options that open up to you when you have the ball in the high key and you hold it a little bit, especially when you have these two guards up here high. So what will happen is when you hold the ball in that position a little bit, you can get the light side of the court post player, wing player flashing to the foul line, and now you get those three arrows as you see here, right? And then you get a little movement around that, but right now I have spaced the floor in place so motion isn't really happening, but I did that just so I can demonstrate to you how where this happens and what triggers it. So let's take a look at this. Now we're not in space the floor, we're in motion cuts. Let's take a look at how this happens. It happens really fast. See, it flashed really quickly, but I got the ball out to the wing and a bunch of things are happening now. I'm waiting to find an open spot. I take that pick and roll option and now I kick it out to BJ Armstrong on the wing for the three. Different things will happen based on which direction you do with that initial pass. Here we end up just resetting the offense by following that dribble arrow to the side. Here's another one. We take it to there. We get the cut to the basket. That should be very familiar to you by now. And we have the layup. So it's not always predictable to get this action. You don't try to force these animations to happen, but you should recognize them when they happen and take advantage of them, as we do here again with that BJ Armstrong 3 coming off the pick. One of the not so common occasions in the triangle offense where you get on ball screens. Here we go. We have our three arrows. Which way should we pass? Let's take it there and go again to this layup cut to the hoop. In 2K16, every freelance offense has its own little signature possibilities coming off the break. While you will have the usual transition opportunities, this is what happens in the triangle. You'll get this arrow on the side of the court. See that? That's telling you where to enter the half court as you bring up the ball. When that happens, the first look is going to be to a man under the basket. That's not always going to be open, but if it's not open, you're going to get this cutter coming up almost like a zipper cut to the top of the key off of the down screen to take a jump shot at the top of the key. There it is. Let's take it. Boom. Again, it's just something to be aware of as the action that will animate for you. That bottom, that under the basket pass is not there, but here we have the guard coming up off the low screen to the top of the key. That shot's not open anymore. We can dump that in low. Look around as you should within the triangle offense for an open man. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, the triangle offense is not really built around three-point shooting. It's built around finding those open looks under the hoop like this one. Plays run through the post like this one. See that? That's really classic triangle action. Here we go again. Dump that into the pinch post, get that into the hoop from the cut, and that's what the triangle offense is looking for. And if not that, you want to get these little mid-range shots that come from people coming off double screens and curl screens that unfold as players fill new places on the floor. Here we have the ball on the post. This is not a good matchup with Ewing on Cartwright, but get a little dribble, get a little space, dump it off down low, and get the layup. So, can you get three-point shots in the triangle offense? Yes, but not consistently. They're going to become opportunities that you take advantage of after you swing the ball low and you find someone open in a corner or someone curling around to the top, as you saw there. I got the ball to him late, but he had an open three there a second ago. Let's get the ball to the corner and swing it up top. There we go. Now we have that open three. So what you see how that action works in the triangle is you're building from inside out on your offense, but you will find opportunities out. But finding opportunities is not the same as intentionally setting up opportunities consistently. That's something that you would do for three-point shots more with a space the floor type of a scenario. Maybe you want to run four out, maybe you want to run pace, maybe you want to run four out motion. These are some freelance offenses in NBA 2K16 that will more consistently give you three-point looks and which are built around giving you three-point looks. Instead, in the triangle offense, you're trying to move the ball around to get the defense to play whack-a-mole and get a good clean look at the basket. Sometimes it's going to be a three. In NBA 2K16, the artificial intelligence allows offensive players to make dynamic decisions based on their abilities and what the defense is trying to take away. Getting good three-point shots in the triangle is going to depend on three things. One, it's going to depend on you having 3-point shooters who have good offensive IQ, who, as they read what the defense is doing or read the mismatches they have, will flash to the perimeter as you see Jordan do right there, and give you the opportunity to get the three. The second thing it's going to depend on is your own ability to be patient and find the open look for the 3-point shot when it's there. The third thing it's going to depend on is the defense. What is the defense trying to take away from you? Depending on the level of difficulty you're playing NBA 2K16, you're going to have a harder time doing anything that works for you consistently. I'm going to show you just a couple more open 3-point looks here in the triangle, but I want you to notice for each of them, they're coming out of some patience in working the ball to find where I'm going to get a clean look. So reverse it there, and nice open three from Jordan on that one. Try to go for the low post, get some cutters, nothing's there. We've got Jordan flashing, and he misses that one, but that was an open three. Here's another one. Reverse the ball back to the top of the key. The post player doesn't stay low that time, he comes high. That's based on what the defense is doing, and we get a cut over off of a screen on the other side of the court for a three. Now let's talk about what happens as the defense adjusts to what you're doing in the triangle. The CPU defense will begin to clog your passing lanes. They're going to know that you're looking to push the ball low. They know you're going to have cutters, so they're going to start bumping people in the paint. They're going to start cheating on passing lanes. And if you force the ball in those situations, you're going to start to get turnovers. So within the triangle, the prescription for that is patience and reversing the ball to the other side of the court. The principle in the triangle, they call it pressure release. So it basically means pause a little bit, let guys take cuts to the basket that they wouldn't do in their regular rotation, but taking advantage of the overplaying defense. And when you swing the ball to the other side of the court, that's moving the ball to where there is space, and that gives you opportunities for clean looks away from the defense. Reverses are a big part of pressure release in the triangle. So all of these clips that are happening now are sort of examples of how you deal with the pressure. You got overplaying on Jordan, cut to the basket, get that basket, right? That's not a typical cut within the triangle in the base set, but it's a response, an adaptive response within the triangle to pressure by the defense. Here's another example. Got the ball high. Look at them denying Jordan. Oh, I missed him on that pass. That's okay. One bus comes, another bus comes after it. Here we go, and money. Here we come from full court with some pressure, get the ball past the pressing defense, and set up your offense. Wait a little bit, okay. Pressure isn't real too tight, it's really focused on Jordan. They overplayed him at the top of the key, and once again, I got that cut to the basket. Here's another example of dealing with pressure in the triangle. We reverse it back a little bit. We've got the ball high right now. Here's a pass we can make in there to the post, and we get a cut to the basket, but I missed that one. Here I get another cut coming around, and boom, that's open. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I'm sorry for the long video, but the triangle offense in NBA 2K16 is deep, and there's a lot to it, just as there is in the triangle offense in real life. It's not a perfect offense. It's not a bad offense. It's just like any offense in NBA 2K. It has its strengths and it has its uses, and if you use it right and you have the right personnel to make it work, it can help you win games online, head-to-head, or offline. So if you like the video, please go ahead and give it a like. And this is my first time doing one of these, so all your feedback is really welcome. Help me get better at this. I'm just learning how to use this editing stuff. So this is Lorenzo DC. I hope you found this useful. Please make comments and let me know what you'd like to see maybe in the future.